What's going on YouTube? I'm Johnny Rogers, the newest member of Top 10 Nerd, and as a stand-up comedian with observatory sarcasm and sharp wit, I feel I've earned my place here. I will be your gatekeeper today to all that is nerd. Now let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about your favorite Asgardian and one of the key members of the Avengers, Thor. Thor is the Asgardian God of Thunder, and as the son of Odin, Thor is arguably the greatest defender of both Asgard and Earth. With his trusty hammer Mjolnir by his side, which can only be lifted by those who are worthy, Thor is the mightiest warrior in all of Asgard, making him a very valuable ally for good and one of the strongest beings on Earth. Prepare to be amazed as we count down the top 10 powers you never knew Thor had. Thor is already well known as one of the strongest Avengers the team has recruited to date, displaying his brute strength by defeating many enemies across the 9 realms. His godlike presence is viewed as alien in the Marvel Universe, but his powers will definitely come in handy when it comes time to go toe-to-toe with someone as powerful as Thanos. Coming in at number 10, the God Blast. Because Thor's life force is now intertwined with his hammer by way of Doctor Strange, he can now have access to a whole host of exciting new powers. Thor's hammer Mjolnir has been used countless times throughout his history as an Avenger, and it truly lives up to the saying, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Let's give you a little example. Roll it. The God Blast is actually exactly what it sounds like. It's a blinding blast of force that completely eliminates everything in its path, leaving behind absolute destruction. Not even an immortal can withstand his power. And number 9, transformation. We all remember the moment that a hot-headed Thor was sent back to Earth by his father Odin in order to teach him a lesson in humility. What we didn't know was that in the original comics, when he was sent back to Earth, he had absolutely no recollection of Asgard or his powers. He then assumes the identity of a Donald Blake, a Harvard med student with kind of like a crippled leg, and after opening his own private practice in New York, he receives a thought from his father to travel to Norway where an alien attack was going to take place. This is crazy. After the aliens attacked, he made his way into a cave for safety, where he came across this cane, and in a fit of rage he slams the cane down, which transforms into Thor's hammer, which restores him of his powers and then opens up a whole new world where now he has this alter ego. So now he can literally go back and forth from Thor, the God of Thunder, into Donald Blake, allowing him to blend in safely on his new home planet of Earth. So at number 8, translation. Being the ruler and protector of the 9 realms is incredibly difficult. And on top of that, Thor needs to be able to communicate with everyone that he comes across. On Earth alone, we have around 6,500 languages, with about 2,000 of those languages only being spoken by less than 1,000 people. Now imagine the sheer volume of languages and dialects the universe would have on top of that. The all-tongue or all-speak is an ability that allows him to be heard by anyone in their native language. In the Marvel Universe, we don't really get a chance to see this used because the directors believed it would be easier for audiences to follow along in just English. Number 7, healing. Now as I mentioned before, Thor is bound to his hammer. This can be good and bad. It's great in the sense that he can call on it whenever he wants, and it definitely adds new powers to his already strong arsenal. However, it can be really damaging if his hammer is, well, damaged. The two share a life force, so while Thor may appear superhuman, he's still vulnerable. That being said, Thor has a similar ability to that of Wolverine and Deadpool. While he's not able to regrow limbs like Deadpool, he can however heal burns and broken bones at a slightly slower speed than Wolverine does. That's all well and good for his physical body, but what about his powers? Well, I have some shocking news. His powers are not unlimited, and they require time to refuel, if you will. That's why Thor had Odin's metalsmith create him a casket that puts him in a coma-like state to quickly replenish his powers. Number 6, teleportation. Now, I've never been a really big fan of long processes of commuting to work or traveling to see family. Sometimes I just dream about how cool it would be to just step into a machine that would take you anywhere you wanted to go. Of course, after they worked out all the kinks. You know, I'm not gonna risk traveling through time and space to only have my arms sticking out of my torso because the scientists skipped a step. We don't really get to see this ability in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it would have rendered a lot of important plot lines such as the Space Stone and the damaged Rainbow Bridge and his lack of attention to Jane Foster completely useless. In the comics though, Thor displays the ability to use his hammer to open up an interdimensional portal in his search for Loki, as seen here in the comic strip. Number 5. Mind resistance. We all know that Thor has the incredible ability to control his hammer with simply his mental abilities, but what we didn't know was that he has a remarkable ability to fight off mind control. Thor has displayed this ability to fend off some of the universe's most powerful mental attacks, ranging from defying his own father, Loki's spells, a mental attack from Glory, and has even resisted the power of the Eye of Horus. Thor's mind resistance is strong, but not impenetrable. In the version of Marvel's Earth, his magic powers will trump that of a mutant, but not necessarily a cosmic entity. Number 4. Thick skin. Not thick skin in the sense of being able to take a joke, but in a literal sense. Thor literally has thick skin. He has this godlike ability to take punishment from even Earth's greatest mutants. Thor's skin and bones are about as dense as you would imagine a god's would be. I mean, that's why he's able to be thrown like a ragdoll by the Hulk, or take the kind of physical abuse that would leave a normal human 6 feet deep. Number 3. Magic. Even though in the Marvel Cinematic Universe we mostly see characters such as Doctor Strange and Loki displaying magic, Thor has also a few tricks up his sleeves. Now I'm not talking about pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Thor was raised and trained in Asgard, which has produced a number of beings with mystic forces, and as a result of growing up in this environment, Thor basically has a natural understanding of how magic works. We have seen a few examples of this, from knowing about the Pool of Visions in the cave, when he gave life to Vision after implanting the Mind Stone, and even in Ragnarok when he gained the ability to unlimited supply of mystical powers after acquiring the knowledge and use of the runes. Number 2. Weather control. We all remember that huge swirl of clouds and lightning that Thor can produce simply by swinging his hammer around, but he also has the ability to control the weather. Well, mainly the kind of weather that makes you wish you brought an umbrella. His ability to draw clouds with a chance of rain at any moment would leave even the greatest meteorologists in absolute marvel. See what I did there? Not only can he control the weather on Earth, but this power has also been used even on his home planet of Asgard, where he confronted Hela on the Rainbow Bridge. Now, last but not least, we bring you the number 1 power you never knew Thor had: longevity. Now, we're not saying that Thor is immortal, but what we are saying is that the average Asgardian lifespan is much longer than that of a human on Earth. He is in no way immortal, but he has lived for eons upon eons, with a human's life only being a blink in his existence. We're not too sure how old Thor is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but when he arrives on Earth, judging by his actions of disobeying his father and having the odd temper tantrum, we can only assume that he's relatively young for an Asgardian. No offense to those angsty teens out there watching, of course. You do you. Okay? And that has been our top 10 powers you never knew Thor had. To see more videos like this, click the playlist on the screen and make sure to stay up to date with our newest videos simply by hitting that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and leave a comment down below with your favorite Thor superpowers. For now, I've been Johnny Rogers, and until next time we meet, take care.